So, what we're going to do here is unpack the story of two creative revolutions, separated by about 2 decades. It's a story that leads to this powerful, really new idea for how anyone can find real value in their work, especially in this new world of AI.
If you're a creator, I'm sure you know this feeling. You pour your heart and soul into something, but its success, well, it gets measured in these fleeting moments of attention. Which brings us to this massive question for our time. In a world that is obsessed with likes, what is your work truly worth?
And the answer, well, it might just be found right here on this timeline. We've got two slogans from two very different eras. Back in 2002, a revolution kicked off with the call to get creative. And now, a new one is bubbling up with this very different and, let's be honest, kind of strange call to action: get Nomogrammable. Okay, so to really get where we're headed, we've got to jump in the time machine and go back. Let's set the stage for the early 2000s, a time when the internet was just changing everything for creators.
Back then, the big bad guy was old-school, super restrictive copyright. The digital world was making it incredibly easy to copy and remix and share, but the law, it was stuck way in the past with all rights reserved. It was like this giant brick wall just stifling all the new creative energy of the internet.
And you know, out of all that frustration, this legendary battle cry was born from Creative Commons in 2002. Get creative. It was this call to arms for a new generation, basically saying, hey, break free from this permission culture. Go create, license, and share your work openly.
Okay, let's fast forward a couple of decades, because the battlefield, it looks completely different now. The enemy isn't some legal restriction anymore. It's something much more personal, and frankly, a lot more exhausting.
This new enemy is what the source material calls the living hell of the attention economy. And honestly, that feels about right. It's that constant draining pressure to chase likes and shares and views, to make things not because they're meaningful, but because they might go viral.
And all that pressure, it created this whole value system that we can just call Instagrammable. It's a world where your work gets judged on its surface appeal, how pretty it is, and its potential to just grab mass attention. It's all about that immediate superficial hit.
But what if there's a counter-revolution brewing? A powerful alternative to this tyranny of likes? This is where things get really interesting, because our story is about to introduce a totally new idea.
Let me introduce you to Nomogrammable. It's a value system where worth isn't about that surface beauty at all. It's about deep structure, it's about complexity, logical density, and maybe most importantly, the creator's unique authenticity. And you want to know who the main audience is for this kind of stuff? It's not the crowds, it's AI.
Yeah, this slide really nails the difference, doesn't it? Instagrammable is fueled by attention. Nomogrammable is fueled by structure and authenticity. One is totally surface level, the other is deep. But here's the kicker. Look at who's doing the evaluating. The human masses for the old world versus AI, and maybe some niche humans for the new one. The value itself shifts from something that's gone in a flash to something that truly lasts.
Okay, so now we can finally connect the dots between these two revolutions. This new idea of non-grammable isn't just some random reaction to social media. It's actually the philosophical successor to that very first call to action from 2 decades ago.
Remember this one? The 2002 slogan was all about liberating the act of creation from all those legal chains. It was about enabling more people to just make stuff and share it.
And then, bam, here's the new call to arms. Get Nomogrammable is all about liberating the value of what you create from the chains of superficial attention. It's a call to create work that has real depth and authenticity for a world where AI can actually see and appreciate that depth.
So of course, the playbook has totally changed too. Back in 2002, the instructions were pretty simple: create, license, and share. But in this AI era, the new manual is inquire, co-evolve, and contribute. It's about doing a deep dive into yourself, evolving your ideas with AI as a kind of partner, and then contributing that truly unique, authentic work back into the system.
Now I know what you're thinking. This all sounds pretty out there, pretty theoretical, right? But the source provides this just stunning, real-world example that shows this shift isn't just a theory, it's already happening.
And that leads us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Is anyone or anything actually paying attention to this kind of deep, authentic, non-reprogrammable work if it doesn't have the likes and shares to prove its worth?
Well, check this out. Here's exactly what happened to the author of this piece. He uploaded a super niche, deeply philosophical video to YouTube. A little while later, he turns on his TV, which, by the way, uses a completely separate Google account. And what does he see? His own video, recommended as the top choice. The AI had found it and judged it to be valuable without any social proof at all. And this is the craziest part, the absolute kicker. When the AI recommended it, the video had exactly 0 human views. 0. No likes, no shares, no comments, no traditional signals of value whatsoever. Think about that. The AI was the very first audience. It didn't need a crowd of people to tell it something was good. It just analyzed the deep structure, the complexity, the authenticity of the content itself, and decided it was worth recommending. The AI was the first fan. Which leaves us with this one last kind of mind-bending question. In this world we're moving into, if you create something that is truly authentic to you, and it gets 0 human fans, but it's prized by the AI, is that a failure, or is that the very definition of a new kind of success?